runs that Edmonton have, but Kelly Rudy's had the best year of his career, and so far is as good as any goalie in the league.
From the opening faceoff, Larry Robinson, who did not finish the game, drawing that 5-minute major in the first period of game misconduct, dumps it in. It's loose, a shot from the faceoff, the rebound, Alex scores!
Well, that one only took 13 seconds before Todd Ellick shoveled a rebound past Grant Fuhr. That's Todd's first goal of these 1991 playoffs. It started out as a simple little shoot-in that didn't look dangerous at all. But watch number 6. No Oiler goes to the front of the net. Ellick did, and he kind of got it on the short bounce and put it in.
So Todd Ellick gets his first playoff goal only 13 seconds into the opening period, and the Los Angeles Kings lead 1-0. Of the Los Angeles forwards who have participated in all the playoff games, only John Tonelli is still scoring. Luc Robitaille draws the assist on the play. It was his shot initially that Fuhr made the save on after the Robinson shoot-in. Messier's shot steered to the corner, kept in the zone by Craig Munich. Robinson picks it up in the corner and he fires it down the ice, and this will produce an icing call against the Kings. But a quick start for Los Angeles. Grant Fuhr beaten just 13 seconds into the opening period by Todd Ellick.
Well, of all the teams that won't get upset if they give an early goal up in the opponent's rink, the Edmonton Oilers are the epitome of a team that will just settle down and play their game. A careless little back pass right here by Kevin Lowe, a careless rebound by Grant Fuhr, and then kind of a lucky bounce that went to Ellick, and he put it in to give his team an early lead. And that's a real bonus in this rink, because this crowd can be very noisy, but they can easily be taken out of the game. Right now they've got them all going in the same direction as
Did you not talk about those backhand passes in your own zone in Game 1? And how dangerous they can be?
Well, that wasn't as long as some of the ones we saw in Game 1, but nevertheless, Kevin didn't get much on it. And as a result, it went to the wrong team.
Picked up by Bukaboom behind his own net. Fired out on the wing. Lamb at the line. He runs into a hit. Simpson in there with him, and he's whistled down offside.
Well, let's have a look at this. See who's not playing tonight for the Oilers. Buchberger was in the other night, as was Jeff Smith. They're both out, as Murphy and Kevin Lowe are in. For the LA Kings, Casper, who got hurt in Game 1, can't play, and as a result, Jones has gone in for him. The other players that aren't playing are all the same as in Game 1.
Steve Casper left the game. He was taken to hospital with a slight concussion. I talked with him this morning. He was here at the Forum for the morning skate. He said he spent the night in hospital, was released about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, but the team doctors did not think that he should play tonight.
Well, the LA Kings will miss him. Not only is he their top defensive center on their top defensive line, he scored some points in this 1991 playoff.
Gretzky is out there with Granato and Sandstrom, the face-off just outside the blue line.
The Oilers change on the fly. Tikkanen goes out, and Zhelinov comes off.
And one of the responsibilities that Tikkanen has in his own zone, forget about the play, stay with Gretzky. Sandstrom has it. Sandstrom working back to the net, threw it out front on the short side. The shot by Granato, and Grant Fuhr covers up.
The reason they give Tikkanen that assignment on Wayne Gretzky is that if you don't, this guy gets in behind the net and nobody knows really who should go to him. Now, if you've got a man attached to him in the offensive zone, then there's no question, especially among the defensemen, as to who's to take him. Because if you give him any time behind the net, with that radar vision of his, he'll find some black tape on the end of an Oilers stick. Tikkanen, his job against Gretzky is as much a mental assignment as a physical assignment. And this guy's a smart hockey player.
And one thing you'll see Gretzky do during the course of the game to try and avoid some of that checking of Tikkanen, regardless what player comes to the bench when the Kings make a change, a winger or the centerman. Gretzky is always the first off, so they feel they can buy maybe 10 or 15 extra seconds with Gretzky coming off the boards when they change on the fly as the first man onto the ice.
The other thing is Gretzky's notorious for playing long shifts, so the man on him has to have that kind of stamina as well.
Charlie Huddy picks up the puck in his own zone. He puts it around the boards for Klima. What a beautiful goal he scored the other night. He can't get out. They try and come out the left side. 18-14 remaining in the period. Klima in across the line. Lamb overskated it. And back comes Los Angeles, led by Granato. Long shot. It bounces off the end boards. Granato raced in after it. He bumped and went down as the puck comes in across the line. Charlie Huddy was the player he collided with. Klima attempted to center it. He was looking for Tikkanen. It was intercepted, but the Kings can't get out of their own zone. Robinson trying to fire it into the center ice area, trying to hit Sandstrom, who was looking for that breakaway pass, but it was broken up by the Oilers. 17:30 remaining in the opening period. 1-0. Los Angeles leading on Todd Alex's goal just 13 seconds into the hockey game. Ron McIntyre running into an Edmonton player along the boards in the Edmonton zone. The Oilers now having some problems getting out against the forechecking of this line. Donnelly is out there with McIntyre and Brad Jones. Whistle as it's brought in across the Los Angeles line. The play is offside. We played 3 minutes.
Now, in the Oilers' case, they didn't have the time for game one that they've had for two, and although they're off to a bad start, I think we'll see a more disciplined Oiler team with a little more specific game plan.
Well, the linesmen step in very quickly with some pushing and shoving taking place following the whistle on that offside call. And again, players reach in and try and get involved. Jay Miller is out there. Dave Brown is out there. Two of the heavyweights on their respective teams. We'll be back after this.
One thing I think you're going to see Tom Webster do every time Brown is out there, Webster gets the last change. He's going to put Miller out there as a neutralizing effect.
The only time that the Oilers scored first this year in the playoffs as Tonelli brings it in. And Miller, his shot right on. They lost to the Calgary Flames. In every other game, the opposition has scored first. 5 times they have been down by a score of 2-0. Kept in at the point, in front of the goal. John Tonelli trying to dig that puck out, and Bukaboom flips it off the glass and out of the zone. Marty McSorley back after it. He moves it ahead to Tonelli. He fires it in. 16:21 still remaining. Jay Miller at the point manages to keep it in. He goes to the bench on a change. McTavish in across the line. The Oilers looking for their first shot on goal. Los Angeles Kings have had 4. Robitaille racing after the puck, and he tried to move it to his backhand, and it slid away. Back after it is Benning. Benning up along the boards. Charlie Huddy from the point keeps it in. His quick shot. Kicked to the corner by Rudy. Out of the zone by the Kings. And Luc Robitaille took a pretty good hit directly in front of his bench. Long shot that Rudy plays up along the glass. Battle for it in the corner. Finally it comes back to the point. McIver getting set. His shot deflects to the corner. Messier is there trying to control it. He's being harassed by Blake, and it's brought out of the zone. Robitaille in across the line. Alec going for the net. Alec back to Benning, and Benning tried to pick it out of the air and redirect it. Duchesne at the point. Plays it behind his back. Alec bumped by McIver. It comes to the side of the net. Robitaille couldn't get a shot away as he was checked by Huddy. Glenn Anderson in across the line. He spun around. The puck goes to the corner. Lamb races in after it. He's bumped by Robinson. Gretzky in his own zone. Slips it ahead to Sandstrom. Sandstrom, a long shot from just inside the blue line, and he took a hit as he let that one go, and he's hurt.
Craig Muni got Sandstrom just after he took the shot with that low knee-crunching body check that he's famous for throwing. And Sandstrom's in a lot of pain, grabbing onto his right knee or his right leg, and he was really low-bridged in a late low hit by Craig Muni. And he's got a long list of guys that he's put out with this body check of his. It's legal, but it's lethal.
And Tony Granato went after him immediately at the blue line, but Sandstrom is hurt. Granato is going to the penalty box. So the end result is the Edmonton Oilers are a man short. Los Angeles Kings on the power play.
Never ceases to amaze me, Don. 3 tripping calls, 1 huge body check, and no call. Although I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it seems strange the guy can't get up. The guy that hits him doesn't get a penalty, and 3 other guys do, and nobody fell down.
And this is where they'll miss Thomas Sandstrom, is on the power play. Although Luc Robitaille has scored 3 goals in the playoffs on the power play and was the #1 power play goal scorer for the Kings during the regular season. Here's McTavish stealing, going in alone, shorthanded. Oh, he fired it wide. He pulled Rudy out and then fired it wide.
He may have hit the shaft of Rudy's goal stick as Rudy sprawled and threw his arm out.
McTavish has scored 6 shorthanded goals this season, and he almost came up with the team's first in postseason activity. Here comes Duchesne with a minute remaining in the penalty to Alec. Alec over to Robitaille. Robitaille to Gretzky. Gretzky cross ice to Benning. Benning moving in front. Robitaille's shot blocked by Fuhr. Benning back at the point. Across to Blake. Blake's shot doesn't get through. And it's fired to the line, kept in by Blake. Blake dumps it back to the net. He was hit by Bukaboom as he dumped it in. Gretzky now has it behind the goal. Gretzky out front. There's a shot that goes over top of the net. Tremendous pressure here by the Los Angeles Kings, trying to add to their 1-0 lead. 20 seconds remaining in the penalty to Klima.
The last 3 playoff games, LA has scored 5 power play goals, but this has been an important part of their offense recently.
Benning to Kudelski. He fired it wide. Great pass. Here's Kudelski again. This time the shot is blocked before it gets to the net. And Tikkanen comes away with McTavish. A long shot. Rudy got a piece of that as it goes to the glass, and the penalty to Klima is over. Alec picks it up in the center ice area. Alec gets it back to the point. McSorley couldn't fire it at the net as he tried to flip it in. It bounced off an Edmonton player. Charlie Huddy goes to the corner, flips it around to the other side. 12 minutes remaining in the opening period. Now we have Taylor in an exchange with Esa Tikkanen.
I think you'll see that too perhaps be a little bit of a strategy for LA. That is, go after Tikkanen and see if you can get him away from Gretzky by putting him in the penalty box.
And both of them are going to the penalty box.
Rolling pucks we may see more of this evening than we did in Game 1.
Fired in by Edmonton. Back after it is Halkitis. Bring it up along the boards. Stolen by Semenoff. His shot is deflected off the stick up into the crowd.
I mentioned in the opening that I thought Edmonton would be tougher, and one of the guys that they're going to try and be tougher on is Wayne Gretzky. Now, you'll have to get up real early in the morning to get a good chunk of him, but they're going to try and get a piece of him whenever they can, and here's an example right here. A little bit of a mugging. And the Oilers were lucky on that one, too. There's another great chance that it's deflected over the net. Wayne Gretzky's going to earn his money tonight, but he's been in these situations before and usually comes out smelling like a rose.
Well, Tom Webster said that he would try and do some things to help Gretzky out, but he also felt that Gretzky would have to play his way around the checking of Tikkanen. Puck kept in the zone, back to the line. Muni's shot, it goes wide. Donnelly can't get out. Back to the line. Here's Lowe with a shot. He scores! Kevin Lowe, who did not play in Game 1, gets the Edmonton Oilers back on even terms.
Well, Kevin Lowe scores his first goal of the playoffs this year. In fact, that's his first point. Looks like a harmless shot from the blue line that really Kelly Rudy just missed. There was nobody apparently in front of him to screen. It wasn't a rocket by any means. It was just one that Rudy fumbled. So if this was a baseball game, we'd see a big E on the scoreboard right now. Kevin Lowe's going to take it innings.
Well, we had Todd Ellick with his first playoff goal, and Kevin Lowe with his first playoff goal ties it at 8:29. Kevin Lowe, the all-time leader among Edmonton Oilers in career games played, but not noted for his goal scoring, gets the Oilers back on even terms. Larry Robinson being bothered there by Anderson. The puck comes back to the line and bounced away from Smythe. Adam Graves draws the assist on the goal by Lowe at 8:29. Mark Messier pokes it out into the center ice area, picked up by Anderson, over to Simpson. Simpson trying to work around Duchesne. He's knocked down by the Los Angeles defenseman. Smythe at the point, keeps it in. Shot is blocked. Anderson fires it wide of the net. Simpson trying to get away from Robinson. Messier comes in to pick it up. He gets it across ice to Anderson. He couldn't get a shot away, and Gretzky starts back. Tonelli and Granato in across the line with Gretzky. It's offside. 10:41 is the time remaining in the opening period.
The Tikkanen loses his temper from now on every once in a while and may take some retaliatory penalties, may get upset, and they may just try some tactics like this to see if they can get him off the ice. When he was in the box, Gretzky played most of the shift up till now. So it's not only a physical problem Tikkanen causes the Kings, it's a psychological one too, because it's no fun playing with a guy who's riding on your back the whole night.
And Tikkanen, of course, loves that opportunity to shadow Gretzky, and it really sticks to him. Charlie Huddy flips it in, a high shot. Racing to the corner after it is Benning. Benning dodges a check there from Murphy, who's back in the lineup after missing the last two playoff games with the Flutes. The lineup to make room for Murphy as Kelly Buchberger. Todd Ellick steals it. He tried to slip it through to Padelski. Padelski is checked. Puck loose in the Edmonton zone, and finally it's flipped out by veteran rearguard Charlie Huddy.
Pretty tough to ice the puck here after the 10-minute mark of the period, and there's a good example of it right there.
Knocked down with a high stick by Adam Graves, resulting in a whistle with 9:48 remaining in the opening period. The score tied at 1. Todd Ellick and Kevin Lowe, the goal scorers.
I'm sure also John Muckler is trying to get his team to get a little more success on their forecheck to cause some turnovers, especially the kid line. Of course, Murphy wasn't here, and they may or may not play that line all together, but those guys can hem a team in, and they didn't do a lot of that in Game 1. Kevin Lowe really didn't enjoy Game 7 and Game 1 of this series, not playing. I think he enjoyed, of course, the outcome in Game 7, but this guy wants to be where the action is, not watch the action.
Earlier, Thomas Sandstrom injured. We'll let you know the condition of the Los Angeles winger. Shared their goal-scoring lead, of course, this season with Luke Robitaille, so you can understand how much they will miss him. John Tonelli has taken Sandstrom's spot on the Gretzky line along with Granato.
It allows you, too, to pay more attention to Gretzky without worrying about the offensive threat Sandstrom is. Sandstrom can't come back, and I wouldn't bet he would.
Corner they battled for it in the Edmonton zone. Dumped out by the Oilers. 9:08 remaining in the period. Here comes Tikkanen. Tikkanen's quick shot. And Rudy had to throw out that leg to keep that one from going into the far corner. Nato takes a hit as he fires it into the zone, and the Oilers bring it right back. The jump in is blocked by Robinson, and Robinson tries to move it out quickly ahead to McIntyre. McIntyre taken in heavily against the boards by Steve Smith. Donnelly is hit by Bukaboom as he races to the corner. Loose puck in the Edmonton zone, and it's flipped out by Mark Messier.
Well, here's one of the changes at Webster with the addition of Jones to the lineup. When he puts Jones and Donnelly out there, he's got most of his good speed, and Ellick as well, and they're trying to get them out against Messier, and we all know the kind of speed his line is.
Donnelly had to throw it back because Ellick was offside, but he missed the defenseman who had already been moving up into the play. So the Los Angeles Kings have to move back into their own zone to try and set something up. Throwing that outlet pass straight up the middle a lot tonight.
Well, it's a great way to get out, but there's not much of a margin for error on it. So I'm sure that if it works for long, the Oilers will get a guy in the middle of the rink, one of the back checkers in the middle of the rink.
Messier is knocked down, and this is going to result in a penalty and a power play opportunity for the Los Angeles Kings with 7:44 left in the period. McIntyre and Donnelly up front with Halkitis and Marty McSorley back in the blue line. Kept in at the point by Steve Smythe, but then McIntyre gets a stick on it and flips it down the ice with Norm McIver going back after it. McIver has really performed well for Edmonton since being recalled on the 18th of February from Cape Breton. Tikkanen keeps it in to Smith. Smith drops it back to Tikkanen. Tikkanen flips it into the corner. Klima back to the point to Tikkanen. Takes the shot, saved by Rudy, and again that right leg came flying out to prevent that puck from going into the far corner.
That was a far tougher stop than it looked, because I don't think that Rudy saw the whole shot. He certainly saw enough to make the save.
Pass in on the right side for Simpson. You saw Lamb and McSorley battling for possession of that stick. There's McIver with a shot. It's blocked. McIver gets it back. To the point. Smith's shot right on, and Rudy covers up. 6:30 is the time remaining in the period. 46 seconds left in the Ellick penalty. Lamb doesn't want any part of the race.
I'm sure McSorley would have wondered whether he's got a stick that's half as long as his when he got a hold of Lamb's, which he never did.
Robinson unable to get it out. Messier in the corner. Tries to get it back to the point. Gets it back again. Robinson on him quickly. It comes to the line. Whipped over to Tikkanen. Tikkanen gets it back to the other side. McIver couldn't take a shot. Anderson taking the relay from Messier. Couldn't get a shot away as he was checked quickly, and it's dumped down the ice with 19 seconds remaining in the penalty.
Well, nice second effort by Bob Kudelski to get that puck down the ice as the Oilers were beginning to pass it around and had some people in the open.
Messier leaves it there for Anderson. Anderson tried to flip it across ice. It hit a leg, bounces to the boards. Knocked loose for Gretzky. Gretzky against McIver, puts on the brakes. Looks for the late man coming in, Granato. It bounced off his skate. Gretzky gets it again. Back at full strength. Halkitis flips it into the zone. Going back after it is Smith. And we've got another penalty coming up. With 5:24 remaining in the opening period. Tonelli battling for that puck, but McTavish takes it away from him. He's checked in the center ice area, and Gretzky takes a hit there from Steve Smith as he tried to shovel it back into the zone.
Here we go, Brian.
The Oilers have been more physical with Gretzky tonight so far in this game than they were in Game 1. Kept in at the line by Benning. Tonelli is turned around. Flipped back to the net by Robitaille. Gretzky has it out front. Tonelli's shot doesn't get through as it's blocked and fired down the ice.
Well, Sandstrom, they missed Sandstrom probably most of all down on the power play with that big shot and the fact he's a big guy and can get in position and hard to move out. Tonelli isn't quite the goal scorer, obviously, that Thomas Sandstrom is.
Shane leaves it for Robitaille. Robitaille having problems along the boards. It comes to the line, is kept in. Alec gets control. Alec to Gretzky. Gretzky out front, and it's fired over top of the net by Duchesne, and the net is also knocked off its supports.
Ranford knocked the net off, and Gretzky complained to referee Denny Morrell, but didn't get much in the way of agreement. Or sorry, Fuhr knocked the net off after the first shot. 3 Oilers got caught out at the blue line as they were anticipating they were going to get the puck out of the zone. And the LA defenseman kept it in, and the next thing you know, Alec and Gretzky had the 2-on-1. Now, the only problem with that was that Alec had the puck, not Gretzky. And Alec doesn't know what to do with it, but nobody knows what to do with it like Wayne does.
Fuhr says the thing he is most concerned about as we see the hit by Steve Smythe on Gretzky is that when Gretzky sets up behind the net, you have to be aware of those defensemen racing in from the point, because that's who he looks to pass to.
Sandstrom on the way to the hospital with a sprained knee, and I don't know many players that go to the hospital in the first period and play in the second period.
With a sprained knee, it's doubtful if he'll be back for Game 3. Gretzky takes another hit as he drives the puck into the zone. Pavelski attempting to center it. Laid up along the boards. Messier trying to move it out. Kept in at the line. Gretzky has it in the corner. Muni takes a run at him and knocks him down. That's about the 4th time that Gretzky has been knocked down in this opening period.
Got a bullseye on his sweater, and his former teammates are going to make him pay.
Messier stole it, couldn't go anywhere with it. The penalty to Anderson is over. The Oilers back at full strength. 3:17 remaining in the period. Long shot, fired wide of the net. Alec has it, back to the line. Alec gets a return pass, moves in, tried to jam it past Fuhr. Kudelski from a sharp angle took the shot, and Fuhr was back in his skates to make the save. Robitaille having problems. He's knocked down. The puck comes out to the neutral zone. Picked up there by Duchesne. Here comes Alec. He fires it in. Fuhr had lost his goal stick. And he makes a glove save and holds it for the face-off with 2:41 remaining in the period. Muni has really been a physical presence for the Oilers tonight with that big hit on Sandstrom that has put him out of the game with a sprained knee. And knocking both Gretzky and Granato down. Semenoff pulls it up on the wing. It's broken up there by Paul Kiedis and fired back into the Edmonton zone. 2:26 remaining in the period. Here goes Taylor racing after it. He couldn't do anything with it. Comes back to the point. McSorley winds up. It's shot, deflects off the stick wide. Here's an opportunity with Graves coming in with Jelena and Semenoff. Semenoff out for Jelena. He scores!
Boy, that Semenoff, what a play he made. Again, that puck bouncing all over the rink to spoil the 3-on-1 opportunity. But Semenoff quickly retrieved it, put it out in front, and Graves had it in the net before, Jelena had it in the net before Rudy could do much. Now watch the puck bounce on this. This is a 3-on-1. Bounce again. Semenoff gets it. And Jelena's got it in. There were 3 Kings, but neither one of the 2 that should have taken Jelena did. Todd Ellick skates right back, stands beside him, and lets him shoot it in the net.
So Martin Jelena, who had a goal in Game 1 of this series, he was shut out against the Calgary Flames, makes it 2-1 Edmonton.
The Oilers goal scored by number 20, Martin Jelena.
Semenoff and Graves draw assists on the goal by Jelena at 17:54.
Down to the goal, 17:54.
Back of the net. Benning dodges a check from Simpson. Lamb gets the loose puck. Lamb moving in front, takes a shot. And Kelly Rudy holds it against the side of the net. Intriguing attire is an interesting way of describing his get-up in Game 1. Back to the line. Muni getting set. His shot, the save, and the rebound cleared by Larry Robinson. Anderson is on him. Robinson having some problems. Finally moves it out to Donnelly. Donnelly is stopped at the line, and then he's knocked down. Good hit there by Craig Mooney. Back come the Oilers. Messier for Anderson. Anderson flipped it to an open wing. Simpson couldn't catch up with it. Donnelly has it again. Now a lead pass to McSorley. McSorley overskated it, flipped it into the corner. Charlie Huddy for Edmonton. Moving it up along the boards. Takes a return pass. Is checked. Renato tried to flip it over to a wing, and it was taken away from him by Anderson, who dumps it into the Los Angeles zone as we move into the final minute of the period. Anderson was knocked down in the center ice area by McSorley, but there was no whistle on the play. Tikkanen throws it to an open wing. Picked up by Klima. He got it back into his own zone. Gets it again. His pass for Lamb too far, and Lamb takes a big hit as he comes in across the blue line from Blake. And that is whistled down on the offside.
Well, if Lamb's going to hit Blake and look into each other's eyes, he needs a ramp to get up, because Blake's a big boy, saw Mark Lamb coming, and straightened Lamb up. But you may straighten this guy up, but you're not going to slow him up. Here's what I'm talking about right here.
Blake is 6'3", 200, and Lamb is 5'9", 180 pounds. But he's tough. Most rodeo cowboys, who are people who have that experience, take a lot of punishment and are used to bouncing around and hits such as that.
Some of those bulls are bigger than Blake, I'm sure. And here's McSorley trying to get Anderson for him. Watch the dive Anderson takes to try and get the penalty, but no dice.
35 seconds remaining in the opening period. 2-1 the Oilers lead it. Los Angeles leading the series 1-0, winning the opener 4-3 on Luc Robitaille's overtime goal. Here's Kudelski, teeing it up, he scores!
Bob Kudelski, the hardest shot on the LA team, gave us an example of just how well he can shoot the puck. His third playoff goal. He comes late through the middle and shoots from the top of the circle and gets everything on it. It's up over the sprawling Oiler defenseman, and then it goes up over Grant Pure's left shoulder. He had no chance on that one at all. It's just a matter of a hard shot beating a good goaltender.
And for those interested in statistics during the course of the season, whenever Kudelski had a point, Los Angeles was 21-3-3. Renato takes a lead pass. He takes a long shot wide of the net. 4 seconds remaining in the period. Kudelski getting the goal with Renato and Duchesne drawing the assists, and the first period here at the Great Western Forum is over. As play gets underway with the score tied at 2. Dave Taylor fires it in. Back after it goes Charlie Huddy. Huddy moves it along the boards for Simpson. He can't get out against McSorley. Out front for Robitaille, and it was deflected away from him as Robinson goes back after it in his own zone. The Oilers have been in the Stanley Cup playoffs every year since their inception. They hold the NHL record for doing that 12 consecutive years. Tom Webster in his second year as coach of the Los Angeles Kings, and he'd like to take this team to the Stanley Cup final this year.
Well, injuries always play a large factor in success during the playoffs. We know that Steve Kasper is out. He never started the game, and that Sandstrom's gone to the hospital with a bad knee. You know, Don, this season, only 34 players in the National League played all 80 games. LA didn't have one. They were one of 3 teams with none. Edmonton had Murphy and McTavish. 2 teams had 3. That's the most. That's a sad commentary on the Ironman routine in the National League.
Gretzky and Duchesne led the Kings in games played, each with 78. Robinson overskated it. He flips it into the corner. It takes a bounce off the glass, and Charlie Huddy comes up with it. Tikkanen, rink wide, intercepted by Gretzky, and Gretzky's shot is deflected right to the goal. Duchesne with a long shot. Gretzky in front of the net, gets it loose for Granato. Saved by Grant Fuhr. Poked up to the line, and Messier starts away with Anderson. The two of them cross, coming in across the line. Over to Tikkanen to Anderson, and Anderson is poke checked by Kelly Rudy. Anderson was on his backhand. He tried to spin around in front of the net, and that gave Rudy time to poke it away from him. Some fine passing by the Oilers as Messier led the attack in across the line with Anderson and Simpson. Dumped in by the Kings. But several players had to come back to touch up the line as they would have been offside. Brad Jones pokes it to the corner. Dinelli was racing in after it. Back after it now goes Benning. Benning plays it out to center ice. The Oilers can't go anywhere with it. Mark Lamb plays it back into his own zone to Kevin Lowe. 17:53 remaining in the period. The score tied at 2. Late goal 20 seconds before the period ended. Tied it at 2. Jay Miller tried to work his way in. He's taken in against the boards. Comes loose to Tonelli. A wraparound attempt. The puck comes out front, and it's picked off by Adam Graves. Graves starts away with Jelena. Jelena for Klima. He had to reach back for it. It went off the end of his stick. Gretzky takes a hit from Graves. It seems everybody on that Edmonton roster is bumping the Los Angeles superstar tonight. We've got a penalty coming up now as Miller got involved in front of the bench with Adam Graves.
And Miller just slashed the Oiler player. Then he elbows Jelena. You know, he could get 6 minutes on this and definitely should get 4.
Jay Miller goes to the penalty box with 17:09 remaining in the period. We'll be right back after this message.
But not as fast as the right leg of Grant Fuhr.
Kept in by McIver. He tried to play it off the boards, and Larry Robinson was there to whip it down the ice. McIver trying to set things up on this power play for the Oilers. Gives it across to Klima, ahead to Messier. Messier gets to the line. He stopped there. The puck bouncing in the zone. Simpson has it. Simpson circles to avoid a check. Klima back to the net for Messier. He tried to throw it out front, and it's flipped down the ice by Bob Kudelski. He goes to the bench in the change. Messier is checked. Loose puck racing after it is Donnelly, and way out of the net to challenge was Grant Fuhr.
Great speed, Donnelly, and he showed it on that rush.
Marty McSorley gets it in his own zone.
Well, the Oilers are successfully killing this penalty off, even though it's to the Kings. They haven't had any kind of a chance at all. Game 2, rather important historically in the first round this year. Only 6 out of 8 winners won Game 2, Chicago and Calgary being the exceptions. Last year, 12 out of 15 teams that won Game 2 went on to win that series. So this game perhaps is a little more important than we thought. Here's Donnelly after out-racing shorthanded the Oiler power play. Slapped it, got it past Fuhr, but not between the post and under the bar.
2:57 remaining in the double minor to Jay Miller. 16:06 in the second period with the score tied at 2. Jelena dumps it in. Marty McSorley goes back after it. McSorley gets it loose to Halkitis, and Halkitis will fire it down the ice. McSorley in Game 1, after Larry Robinson got the 5-minute major in game misconduct in the first period, logged a lot of ice time, and he was out there in the third period in Game 1 for over 13 minutes. Back of the net, out front, and Semenoff tried to set up Adam Graves. Couldn't get a shot away. From the blue line, a shot, the save by Rudy. Loose puck in front of the net. Rudy sprawling, pokes it away from Graves. Semenoff tried to get it back to the point. Picked off by Granato. He's out there with Gretzky. Granato circles. Tikkanen is after him. Now Granato throws it up on the right side. Nobody there as the Kings are making a change. 2 minutes remaining in the penalty. Double minor against Jay Miller for roughing and slashing. McIver. Back to Tikkanen. Back to McIver. Simpson moves it to Anderson. In across the line. Back to Simpson, to Messier. Messier looking to the point, gets it to Tikkanen. Back to Messier. Simpson was knocked down in front of the net. Now Tikkanen gets it over to Messier. Can't get a shot away. Back to Tikkanen. There's his shot. Kicked to the corner by Rudy. McIntyre off the boards and out as he takes the hit from Messier.
Well, the Oilers look good in that little section of the power play.
Messier gets it to Tikkanen. Tikkanen to Anderson. Anderson couldn't get to it, and it's fired down the ice.
I think when your power play's not working, as the Oilers doesn't seem to be, get it to the point. The forwards know you're going to shoot it from the point, and you get 3 of them going to the net.
Semenoff in the corner. Throws it in front. Simpson was robbed by Rudy. Messier in the corner. Out front. Fired wide. Simpson right in that slot area. Anderson back to the point. Boom-kaboom with a shot. Knocked down in front and fired the length of the ice. An Edmonton player injured on the play. Simpson. I don't know whether he stopped that puck or whether he took a hit, but he is in pain.
I'm pretty sure that he blocked the shot. It was a shot that looked up to be 3 feet or 3.5 feet high. And Simpson went down and hasn't moved.
13:49 remains in the period. 40 seconds in the penalty. Our Stanley Cup coverage continues in a moment. 8 seconds remaining in the penalty. Halkitis takes it back into his own zone, gets an opening and fires at the length of the ice, and the double minor to Jay Miller has expired. Well, if there's one aspect of their game that the Edmonton Oilers would like to work on, it's the power play. Dave Taylor takes a hit in the corner. Todd Ellick is bumped back of the net. Kevin Lowe starts away with the puck. Too far for Murphy on the left side. It hits his skates. Picked up by the Kings now as Ellick lets a long shot go right on. The rebound dumped down the ice by Kevin Lowe, and back after it is Larry Robinson. Robinson throws it up the middle. Robitaille in the slot, takes the shot, steered to the corner by Grant Fuhr. Todd Ellick spun around. Larry Robinson pinching in from the point, keeps it in. Taylor back to the net, looking to throw it out front. Does get it out front, nobody in the slot area, and back comes Dave Brown. Brown waiting for Craig Mooney to move up in the play. Brown doesn't get his shot away. He wound up and he was poke-checked by Steve Duchesne.
2-on-1, and Brown never got a shot away and never got the pass that I think he would rather have made.
A lot of confusion in front of that bench as they sometimes change on the fly. Tom Webster was saying that he is recommending to his general manager, Rogie Vachon, that at the governor's meeting, they try and have the benches placed on opposite sides of the rink. And Don Cherry is one who has been advocating that for some time.
Well, it might save some problems with the battles between the players on the bench and changing lines, especially in the second period of game.
Another good hit as Jelena is bumped in front of the bench. A lot of times these collisions take place when they're changing on the fly. A shot fired just wide by Jelena. He has a goal tonight. He's had one in each of the 2 playoff games here in Los Angeles. That puck got tangled up in a player's helmet, and Semenoff wasn't sure where it was for a moment. Now there's an injured Edmonton Oiler.
It's hard to see who that is.
Please, Curtis Strange, please report to the first name.
Looks like it might be Kevin Lowe.
Curtis.
But that's a guess. I shouldn't say that. I can't see who it is. Looked like number 4 when he rolled over there a bit. But he's in a fair amount of pain. And that happened when the puck went to the point. When it got there, we looked up. No, it's not Kevin Lowe. It's Adam Graves. It looks like he might be winded.
11:08 is the time remaining in the second with the score tied at 2.
I don't think you're going to keep him out of action for very long.
5'11", 200 pounds, a tough customer, and as you said, one of the better hitting forwards in the entire National Hockey League.
And the Edmonton coaching staff, especially Teddy Green, says he's the kind of a guy that when he hits you, not only do you go down, but he hurts you. He's seen him throw a lot of those checks this year, but every once in a while you get on the wrong end of one of them.
Guys back in the blue line who can hurt you with their body checks as well. Boom and Steve Smythe. Steve Smythe in across the line. Smythe getting set, lets the shot go through traffic. Messier trying to take a swipe at that loose puck as it bounced in among skates in front of that Los Angeles net. Smythe again keeps it in at the line for Simpson. Simpson tried to go rink wide. It's intercepted. Robitaille throws it ahead for Alec. Alec unable to get around Boom, and Smythe is back there to cover up for Edmonton. We're at the midpoint of the second period with the score tied at 2. Larry Robinson chases down the dump in. Moves it up along the boards to Alec. His long shot wide of the net. And this will produce an icing call against the Los Angeles Kings. 2-2 the score with 9:47 left in the second. So it doesn't matter who comes to the bench. Gretzky takes the first man.
I don't think anybody argues about that either, do you?
And with that particular line, Granato is the second out and Thomas Sandstrom the third. But Thomas Sandstrom, of course, took that hit in the opening period, and he is gone for the balance of this game, gone to hospital with a sprained knee, and he could be finished for the balance of this series, maybe even longer.
Well, it isn't very often that you go to the hospital if your knee's not really badly hurt. If they took Sandstrom away that quickly, I think it's more than just a little twist.
Klima throws it on the left side, but Tikkanen has to circle as Lamb would have been way offside. Klima will try again. Klima takes a hit from Duchesne as the puck is dumped out. Craig Muni flips it into the corner. Robinson throws it up to Gretzky. Gretzky goes rink wide. Here comes Kudelski. Kudelski threw it into the slot area. It was intercepted, and the Oilers start back, led by Lamb. Lamb winds up his shot right on. Lamb bumps in the corner with Larry Robinson. We talked about how tough Mark Lamb is, despite the fact he gives away a lot of height to most of those he goes up against. Here's Semenoff going for the net. Scores!
I don't know what Larry Robinson was doing, but he and his defense partner got totally confused as to who was going to take this guy. It's on Robinson's side, and what a move Semenoff made to pour in there. But it was definitely a mix-up, as you're going to see. Robinson come in and call Halkitis off, but then they were going to switch. And Semenoff made no mistake when he got in. It wasn't Halkitis, it was Duchesne. And you have to wonder whether this mix-up was a communication gap or a generation gap, with Robinson going to turn 40 on June 2nd. Whatever it was, this guy with the raccoon-like appearance put it in like he's done that before.
Anatoly Semenoff with his second goal of the play of this series. And it's an offside call as it's brought in across the line. 8:36 remains in the period.
Well, he certainly made a great play on that one. He had 6 goals in 7 games during the season too, John, so he likes playing against this LA Kings.
McIver behind his own net. 3-2, the Edmonton Oilers leading. He returns it to McIver. Having problems getting out. McIntyre in front. Hit the post.
And then I don't know how Brad Jones missed the rebound, but the Oilers are going to get a penalty, and the Kings nearly scored but didn't.
Well, that was what John Muckler said when we asked who would go out of the lineup with Murphy returning tonight. And he said, well, it will not be Semenoff.
Well, any team that can the replacements play as well as the guy that he's replacing, they often play well in demand. The Oilers have that capability and have used it before in Stanley Cup playoffs.
Tavish dodges a check from Benning. Puck comes in across the line. Benning trying to force it in. It comes to the point. Blake moving into the slot at the side of the net. Gretzky, a backhand shot. Fuhr is down. McTavish starts away with the puck. For Lamb, back to McTavish. McTavish works his way to the corner. Benning trying to tie him up. McTavish McTavish dodges a hit from Blake as Benning starts away. To John Tonelli. Tonelli is checked at the line. Tikkanen overskated it. Gretzky tried to go rink wide to Robitaille, and it was broken up by Bukaboom, who shoots it down into the Los Angeles zone. Tikkanen gets it back to the point. Smith's shot is high and wide. 44 seconds remaining in the penalty. Blake starts away for Los Angeles. He tried to fire it on the wing. It was deflected into the Edmonton zone. Bukaboom. Back of the net. Checked. Picked up by Robitaille for Gretzky. Gretzky back to McSorley. McSorley tried to slide it across to Robitaille, and it was broken up and fired the length of the ice.
A real nice heady play by Marty McSorley. He didn't shoot it from the point. He tossed it in for the tip in, and the Kings nearly converted it to a goal.
Kudelski dumps it to the corner. Huddy ties up Alec. Gretzky is after Lamb. Gretzky gets the puck. Gretzky out front. McSorley couldn't get a shot away, and Tikkanen starts away. Gretzky is after him. They battle for it in the neutral zone. Gretzky comes up with it, moves it ahead to Alec. Alec trying to go for the net. Couldn't get a shot away. Checked by McIver. Gretzky left it across the ice, and it was just behind Duchesne, who had broken in from the point.
Gretzky, Don, just finished the 3-minute shift, the whole power play, and then the minute after.
Loose in front of the Los Angeles net with 5:38 remaining in the period. Semenoff breaks it up. Into the wing to Graves. His shot just misses the far corner. Donnelly trying to start back. He takes a hit. Puck moved ahead to Kudelski. Kudelski gets it over on the wing. And Alec couldn't go anywhere with it. 3-2. The Edmonton Oilers leading. The go-ahead goal by Anatoly Semenoff. Fired in by Jones. Pure back to the net. Tried to play it along the boards. McIntyre was in there quickly on top of him. This line has a lot of speed. Now Blake pitches in from the point. Robitaille, long shot. That's deflected wide of the net. Penalty coming up. Craig Muni knocked down Brad Jones, and he'll be going to the penalty box.
In the last little while in the playoffs, and they really need a goal right now to get back in it.
Smith tried to fire it out. It deflected over the glass and out of play.
Steve Smith, I thought, had a tough game by his standards in Game 1 and has settled down and played quite a little bit better so far in Game 2. The Oilers need this guy to be the best defenseman, which he was for most of the season. He's really improved as an offensive contributor to the Oilers' powerful offensive machine. He's big and strong, who likes to run into you, and has really cut down the number of big-time mistakes behind his own blue line. A solid defenseman that all coaches would love to have on their team in this league.
Well, he led Oiler defensemen in total points this season, but he seems to be at his best when he's playing a very physical hockey game.
Well, I know one thing. If you're a left winger and Steve Smith's in the mood to pinch, it's going to be a long night for you on the boards in your own zone.
Craig McTavish carried it in across the line and was stopped. It's brought back by Tonelli. Tonelli can't go anywhere with it. And again, the Oilers fire it down the ice.
Should have said right now. Smith played left.
Here comes Benning. He dumps it to the corner. Smith will get there ahead of Robitaille. He moves it over to the other corner to Tikkanen. And Tikkanen fires it high and down the ice with 1:23 left in the penalty to Craig Muni.
Well, the Kings' power play is most dangerous when they get in the Oilers' zone and get the puck to Gretzky, who usually can be found behind the net.
So far, they've had problems getting it to him. Now he has control. John Tonelli into the slot area for Gretzky. Gretzky fakes, gets it back to Blake. There's a shot fired just wide. Benning. Back of the net. Gretzky couldn't pick it up as it rode around the dasher. Now Blake pinching in, gets it to Gretzky behind the net. Gretzky for Blake, a quick shot. Fuhr the save. He got the rebound and let it go again. And Fuhr covered up.
Rob Blake really upset with himself as that little 4-foot pass out from Gretzky was right on the tape. And Blake got a good, decent shot at Grant Fuhr, but couldn't beat him. But I've never seen anybody like Gretzky operate the way he does behind the net. He throws it through legs, over sticks, between blades and boots and skates. And here's a good example of what I'm talking about right here. And he really got two shots at it. The second one, Fuhr was down and was lucky, but he made the save in the first one. Grant Fuhr, 17 saves tonight. And this is turning into a close checking goaltender's battle here. The shot's 19-15 for the Kings. The score 3-2 for the Oilers. 3:41 to go here in the middle frame.
Fuhr, as did many of the Oilers yesterday, spent a rather relaxing day on the golf course out at the Sherwood Golf and Country Club, or the Sherwood Country Club.
A beautiful piece of property that is. You saw most of it.
Blake back at the line. Flipping it into the corner. Gretzky races in. Gretzky off the boards for Robitaille. He tried to get it back to Gretzky. It went off the stick and it's skated out by Lamb with McTavish crossing just as they got to the blue line, and Lamb dumps it back of the net. Messier comes out to take off McTavish. Tikkanen replaces Lamb. With 13 seconds remaining in the penalty, a whistle on the play.
Don't recognize any of them, do you?
3:03 remaining. 4 seconds in the penalty. Alec can't go anywhere with it. Messier keeps it in the zone. That kills off the final seconds of the Craig Muni penalty as Larry Robinson has it behind his own net. Head for Alec. Alec tried to slip it through to Dave Taylor. Simpson broke that one up. Now the Kings get another chance. Here's Alec for Taylor. He couldn't get a shot away. Glenn Anderson was on Taylor, preventing him from getting a good shot on Grant Fuhr, and Anderson brings it back. Anderson flipped it between his legs to Messier. Back to cover up in his own zone. Out to center ice. Racing after it is Robitaille. Anderson skates back. Pick it up in his own zone. Pass behind Anderson. Donnelly after it. Donnelly throws it out front. Nobody in position. Dumped up along the boards. Battle continuing in the Edmonton zone. Finally it does come loose, and Adam Graves starts away. Adam Graves is hauled down. Kings come back. Pass in the wing. Donnelly couldn't get a shot. He tried to throw it back to Brad Jones. Broken up by the Oilers. In on the left side, Jelena. He's checked by Blake. Goes to the corner. Jelena bumped there. Semenoff trying to get it free. McIntyre flips it around the boards. Evan Lowe pinching in from the point against Brad Jones. Keeps it in the zone. 1:18 remaining in this second period. Jelena tried to go for the net. And there's a penalty coming up as Jelena was knocked down with 1:13 remaining in the period. The Kings will be a man short. Well, the Kings feel that this year is their best chance to go all the way. They finished atop the division. Here comes McSorley with Alec. 2-on-1. Alec getting set up high on Fuhr, and McSorley runs into him.
Whoa, McSorley, who went to the net hoping to get the pass, didn't get the puck, but he really wrapped Grant Fuhr. And the Oiler bench is highly upset. There was no penalty call on it. You can see Fuhr trying to find his bearings as that mask is whapped right against his face. The referees were instructed, Don, if the guy doesn't try to get out of the way of the goalie going to the net, you should give him a penalty. Whoa! And you judged that when Marty was trying to put the head of Grant Fuhr into the net once he saw the puck was by. Peter Klima let him go, and Grant Fuhr probably remind Peter about that when he takes a look at this replay.
Buckner was giving the Oilers something to focus on with Radford coming in to replace Grant Fuhr. And of course, Radford last year was outstanding, winning the Conn Smythe. Pass for Anderson. Stopped by Rudy.
Muckler did explain that he thought his team would have a lot of trouble getting ready for this game, number 1, coming off a great win against Calgary in 7. That was the main reason for making the change. The other one, Don, is that he fully trusts Bill Ranford, as do all the players.
Broken up at the line by Granato with just 5 seconds remaining. Here's an opportunity for Simpson. Saved by Rudy as he came out to challenge just as the period ends. In the National Hockey League, coming from Europe, Semenoff made his NHL debut last year in the playoffs. And this year, it required some major adjustments for him in his first full season in the NHL.
37 seconds left in the penalty to John McIntyre to start this third period.
Fired down the ice by the Kings. They trail by a score of 3-2. The series shifts to Edmonton for games 3 and 4 on Monday and Wednesday. Broken up by the Kings again in the neutral zone. Just 13 seconds remaining in the penalty to McIntyre. Tikkanen with the puck. Takes the pass at the line, moves in. There's the shot. It's blocked before it gets to the net. Picked up by Craig Muni. The penalty is over. Shot fired wide. Robinson dumps his man back to the net. It's played up along the boards. Tikkanen trying to keep it in at the point. He succeeds. Loose in front of the net for Lamb. Saved by Kelly Rudy.
Well, Mark Lamb was knocked down by Larry Robinson as the puck went around the boards and apparently out of the zone. And the Kings are protesting very vigorously here that the play was offside. But they kicked it back into the zone, and Lamb had just got up and was starting out of the zone. And here it is here. Was it offside? Oh, boy, awful close. But now Lamb, who's just coming off from being knocked down, gets a chance all alone on Rudy and tries to put it back to the side he was leaving as he went across the net, but didn't fool a very sharp Kelly Rudy on this play right here, dragging his left leg to make the save.
So Mark Lamb is still looking for his first playoff goal. You know, we talked earlier about the statistics relating to Bob Kudelski's scoring as far as the Los Angeles Kings go. For the Edmonton Oilers fans, Tikkanen has scored in every playoff game in which the Oilers have won.
Well, there's Larry Robinson, who still can't believe that that puck didn't get out of the zone. And the argument would be still going on had Lamb scored.
And Tikkanen does have a point tonight as he assisted on that go-ahead goal. Kings starting out of their own zone. Duchesne moves it ahead to Taylor. He's checked. Simpson can't go anywhere with it. Picked up by Klima. Klima trying to go for the net. He's spun around, and there's going to be a penalty here against the Los Angeles Kings.
Rob Blake will get 2 minutes for grabbing Klima as Klima was dancing by him.
Tonight's game is coming to you from the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California. Tikkanen moves it back to the point. McIver throws it back to Tikkanen. Tikkanen to McIver. He one-times it, fired wide. Messier tried to throw it out front. Went off Robinson. He's back to Messier. He couldn't control it, and McIntyre skates it out of the zone. Semenoff starts back. He's checked. Kudelski broke that up. Messier tries it now. Stopped at the line by Donnelly.
The Edmonton Oilers as a team are very reluctant to shoot the puck in on the power play to try to regain it on the forecheck. They'd much rather carry it in. And the Kings know that, and they line up across the blue line like a picket fence and make it tough to enter with the puck under control.
Brad Jones gets it, and he backhands it down the ice with 57 seconds remaining in the penalty to Rob Blake. Messier had some problems taking that pass from Steve Smythe at his own line. He leaves it for Glenn Anderson. Anderson tried to shoot it in. It went off the stick right to Kelly Rudy.
Well, they're making some progress, Don. Now they've got the puck in the LA zone with 39 seconds left in Blake's penalty. Now they have to win the draw, and maybe they can get set up for a chance here.
In game one, Edmonton led 3-2 in the third period. Robitaille came back with the late goal to tie it and then won it in overtime. 17:21 remains in the third period here with Edmonton leading 3-2. The go-ahead goal by Anatoly Semenov, the only goal of the second period.
Well, an awfully close game. The score indicates that. The shots on goal are tied at 20. Chances to score are very close to being equal. The mascot is trying to drum up a little enthusiasm here among the fans to see if they can get their Kings going for 39 seconds to kill the rest of this Oiler power play off.
McTavish against McIntyre. The puck goes to the corner. Robinson tried to throw it around the boards. And with some help from Padelski, it comes up to center ice. McTavish brings it back. Robinson picks it up. McTavish is checked by McIntyre. Now the two of them do some pushing and shoving. And the referee, Morrell, tries to step between them. And there's going to be a penalty here. Both are going off.
You know, McTavish gave referee Morrell a little push there, but Morrell was in there trying to break the fight up before it starts. That's dangerous for a referee to do that.
Goes back to center ice after it. Fires it rink wide to his blue line partner Steve Smythe, who shoots it in. Messier trying to pick it up off the boards, gets it to Anderson. Anderson takes the shot. Rudy got a piece of it. Messier knocked down at the side of the net, and then he retaliated, and he's going to get a penalty.
Well, Messier was dumped in front of the net, and when he was down, he was dumped by Duchesne, and on the way up, he hit him with a three-hander on the back of the legs.
.47 remaining in the third. Picked up by Benning, and now the Kings are on the power play. He tried to dump it in, but Craig Muni flips it the length of the ice, and Kelly Rudy will come way out of the net. Play it around to the other side, away from Semenov. Semenov is out there with Lamb. Here comes Tonelli. Tonelli's pass. Broken up and dumped down the ice. Semenov has been on the power play. He's been out there killing penalties in addition to his regular shift.
You know, he reminds me a little, and I say a little, of Gary Curry. A complete hockey player, the smooth as silk, smart as a whip. He's got lots of offensive talent, so he shows you he can play without the puck as well, and I don't think there was a better two-way player in the league than Gary Curry.
Benning slides it ahead to Granato. Granato took a shot. It went off Smith to the corner. Now Gretzky has it at the other corner. He tried to center it, and it was intercepted by Tikkanen. Tikkanen simply dumps it down the ice, and Benning will go back after. Tikkanen follows him. 43 seconds remaining in the penalty. Anderson with a check to force a turnover, and as it's brought in by Muni, it's offside.
Jeff Bukabun was getting after Wayne Gretzky as they came out of the zone. 2 or 3 shots as they both went up the ice, so there's no question about the fact that Gretzky's a target. Yet to see this fella, Anderson, get loose on one of those great dashes where he cuts in off the boards for a good chance on goal.
While we have an opportunity, let's remind you that this program is copyrighted and is strictly for the private use of our viewing audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, distribution, or exhibition, in whole or in part, without the express written consent of Molson Brewery and the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, is strictly prohibited. Well, wherever you're looking in this evening or this morning, wherever you're located, we hope you're enjoying the action from the Great Western Forum. And we'll be joining our Stanley Cup coverage on Hockey Night in Canada tomorrow night from the Forum in Montreal when the Canadians entertain the Boston Bruins, and then again on Monday night when this series shifts to Edmonton. Boston and Montreal are all even at 1. Will this series be tied at 1?
I think this is the year, this is the spring of all kinds of series going 6 or 7, very few going 4 and 5.
Fires it in. Good penalty killing so far by the Oilers. Marty McSorley Tried to flip it around the boards for Gretzky. It comes to the line to Duchesne. Cross ice to McSorley. The penalty is over. Shot fired wide as Messier is out. Centering attempt. Taylor redirected it to the corner to Gretzky. McSorley takes the shot wide. At the other point, Duchesne moving in. There's his shot up high on Grant Fuhr. Hit him on the shoulder, and it comes all the way out to center ice. Duchesne leads the attack again. He's checked. Huddy took a hit from Alec as the puck came loose. Played off the boards and down the ice with 14:10 remaining in the period. Steve Duchesne back after it.
Duchesne with an assist tonight extends his point streak to 5 games. He has 3 goals, 4 assists in the last 5 games, including this one.
Rob Blake being watched by Semenoff. Fires it out of the zone. Fuhr stops it at the side of the net for Martin Jelena. Jelena gets it to Graves, looking for Semenoff. Semenoff dodges a check. The puck is loose in the zone. Comes to the line, kept in there by Jelena. Jelena is spun around. Donnelly drives it loose, gets it ahead to Robitaille. Score!
Robitaille made no mistake after he took this pass that sprung him. Grant Fuhr gets a little off center as he comes out to cut the angle down and leans to the right a little bit and left much too much to his left, and that's exactly where Robitaille put it.
Tom Webster told us an interesting story this morning about Luc Robitaille. In the Vancouver series, he said Robitaille on a 3-on-1 passed it off when he was in the slot. When he came to the bench, he said, Luc, you're a 50-goal scorer. Don't ever do that again. Dumped over the glass and out of play. The game tied at 3, 13-15 remaining in the third. Robitaille, who tied the game on Thursday night of the third period after Edmonton had moved ahead 3-2, and then Robitaille won it in overtime. Pavelski picks it up, moves it out into the center ice area. Rips it across, too far for Kadelski, and Tikkanen out there shadowing Gretzky, intercepted the pass. Kevin Lowe, he was stopped as he came across the line. Messier tried to center it, intercepted by the Kings and dumped out of the zone. Charlie Huddy fires it back in and takes a strange bounce off the boards and hit the side of the net. Todd Alec starts away, a lead pass from Robinson. Alec into the slot area. Robitaille couldn't control it. Back comes Peter Klima. He can fly. He can also shoot it, and he drills it off the pad of Kelly Rudy.
This is the kind of pace that I think the Oilers would love to play at. I'm not so sure the Kings think it's such a good idea.
It's that tying goal. The tempo has definitely picked up. Here's McIver. McIver going to the corner with Benning. Benning knocks his helmet off, takes a swipe at him. Puck is thrown out front. Nobody in position to take a shot. Tikkanen bumped along the boards by Robitaille and then takes a hit from McSorley, and now Charlie Huddy is in the ball.
Got a little too aggressive looking for the hit, and the next thing you know, they'd given up a 3-on-2, and Peter Klima, who roared in off the left wing, lost the puck for a second and then couldn't recover it. And here's Klima coming in on the wrong wing, trying to get the cross, and you can see that he couldn't quite make it without being hooked. Well, they're 11 minutes and 16 seconds away from OT here if no one scores.
Back after it is Steve Smythe. Brad Jones tried to move in on him, forcing him to make a play. He got it to Bookable. Smythe takes a pass and flips it down the ice into the zone. 10:55 remaining in the third period. Gretzky, lead pass for Pavelski, 2 lines, resulting in a whistle.
Bob Kudelski, the Yale University graduate who was taken by the LA Kings in the supplemental draft, has provided Coach Tom Webster and the LA Kings a fairly decent season this year. And you can see that consistency is one of his greatest talents by the look of it. He's really got the big-time shot. And he proved that when he beat Grant Fuhr in the first period. Bob Kudelski and Eli from Yale.
He tied the game at 2 late in the second period, or in the first period. Close shot bounces off the skate to the corner. Barry Robinson starts away. Robinson, one of the rushes that he made famous while he was with Montreal. We haven't seen too much of lately, trying to throw it out front. Picked up by Gretzky to Robinson. Robinson shot blocked by McTavish. Murphy brings it down the ice. Murphy, good move. Shot saved by Rudy, and the rebound picked up by Kudelski. Ahead to Gretzky. Flipped out of the zone. Murphy back in the lineup after missing 2 games. Hasn't seen too much action, but he had a scoring chance there. Alex Anderson, back of the net. He's checked by Robinson. Robinson along the boards, but kept in at the point by Huddy. But Robinson gets it again, and this time he moves it to McSorley. McSorley and Gretzky in across the line. Gretzky for Robitaille, but it's offside.
Well, this is the guy that the Oilers don't want to let have a free shot inside 35 or 40 feet. Joe Murphy, who hasn't played a lot tonight and looks like he's still, Don, a little under the weather. Food poisoning kept him out of Game 7 and Game 1 of this series, Game 7 of last series. But he does get a little burst of speed here. Now, don't forget, Larry Robinson's trapped on the play. And Murphy steps past Marty McSorley. Bob Kudelski, 37, kind of gets after him a little bit. But Kelly Hrudey had to make a pretty good stop.
In the playoffs, the Los Angeles Kings have not lost when they've outshot the opposition tonight. The Oilers have the edge, 24-22 shots on goal. Along the near board, the players fall on top of it. Anderson and Benning.
Well, here's a guy who can break any kind of a game up. 24 goals this year, 8 on the power play, 4 of them game winners. And the power play could use one of those goals from this guy now if they get another chance. Often he's the best in the playoffs when the team needs him the most. Brilliant. Stanley Cup for the Oilers.
Fired down the ice with Charlie Huddy going back after it. Nice play. Robitaille ties Huddy up back of the net. Alec trying to dig it out. It goes to the other side. Robitaille is after it. He gets it back to Alec. Alec behind the goal, throwing it out front. Taylor tried to jam it as Fuhr covered up, and now the usual scrum at the side of the goal.
Well, when you're a forward in this kind of a game, especially in the National League, you can count to about 3 when you're standing in front of the net. Then you better hang on. You're going to get it. Taylor did just then.
They line up against the near boards.
I swear the referee was going to drop the puck between those 2 guys on the ground.
McIntyre got it loose to Donnelly, and a quick shot just went wide. Back of the net, Craig McTavish picks it up. Fans reacting as Tonelli was knocked down by Bookable in front of the net, but there was no whistle on the play. Jelena shots it along the boards with Duchesne going back after him. Up along the boards for Tonelli. He takes a hit right at the line from Graves. Semenoff with a long shot, stopped by Hrudey. Donnelly trying to get out of the zone. He's bumped along the boards by Semenoff. Graves runs into John Tonelli in the center ice area.
Well, 10 seconds earlier, Adam Graves really got a lot of John Tonelli on a body check right in front of the King bench. And then they collided again at center ice. Tom Webster and the LA Kings standing up hollering to Denny Morrell for a penalty on it, but it doesn't look like he's going to listen to him. Here's the first hit. Boy, there's a great body check. I mean, you can't throw a better one. And Tonelli took it like a man and wanted to know who hit him. Went to center ice looking for him.
Bukaboom and Tonelli were involved earlier. It started with the face-off, and then Bukaboom knocked Tonelli down in front of the net.
And there it is right there. Tonelli hangs onto his stick, you see. Now Bukaboom tries to get up, but Tonelli's got his stick. Morrell saw that. Could have given each of them a penalty, decided to give neither a penalty. And there's the situation here in Los Angeles. 8:24 to go, a tied hockey game.
Only 3 times in their history have the Oilers lost the first 2 games of a playoff series. In 1980 to the Philadelphia Flyers, in 1981 in the second round to the New York Islanders, and in 1983 in the Stanley Cup final to the Islanders. Sorry, Harry.
This game is everything we thought it was going to be. Hard hitting, a better pace, I think, than game 1. And here with 8:24 to go, still undecided.
.3-3 the score. Tikkanen trying to get the draw. Chops it to the corner. Larry Robinson picks it up for the Kings. Claim on top of him. Robinson circles to get away. Uses the net to his advantage as he flips it up on the boards to McIntyre. McIntyre for Kudelski. Kudelski working against Muni. Still has it. Takes the shot off the side of the net. Muni behind the goal. Digs the puck out as Kevin Lowe had Kudelski tied up for Klima. Rink-wide pass too far. Blake works along the boards for Granato, who shoots it into the Edmonton zone. 7:42 remaining in the period. Tikkanen with a long shot right on. Robinson takes that to safety ahead of Peter Klima. Taylor works to the corner, leaves it there for Gretzky, who flipped it back to the point, but McSorley wasn't in position to accept it. Rebound to Taylor, moving in. That shot goes off Charlie Huddy, and it deflects up into the crowd, out of play. Taylor pounced on that rebound on the long shot from the blue line. Back to the line to Benning. Benning lets the shot go through traffic, loose in front of the net. And it was taken in behind the goal by McIver. Fired out to McTavish. McTavish drops it back. Semenoff with a shot high off the glass. Charlie Huddy had been racing in to help out on the play, applying some offensive pressure. Now it's Robitaille racing after the puck. Robitaille back of the net. He's checked there by Huddy. Robitaille trying to move out. Spun around. Players falling down. Robitaille in the slot. Tonelli got the shot away. Granthier makes the save. Fired back in by Benning. 3 players have to come out to touch up, and then they go to the bench as the Kings make a change. Donnelly stepped into McIver as he flipped it down the ice. McIntyre overskated it. Now Duchesne goes to the attack. In with Donnelly. Donnelly getting set. There's the shot. It's gloved and held by Fuhr with Brad Jones driving to the net. And then Bukaboom gets involved.
Well, this line has caused a lot of troubles for the Oilers. They've played most of the night against Messier's land, as I mentioned earlier. That's because Jones and Donnelly have the quickness that they can handle Anderson and Messier. They haven't scored, but they've caused some anxious moments for the Edmonton Oilers.
From the face-off, the puck slides right to the goal. Fuhr covers up, and they'll do it again.
One area that the Kings have really improved on in the last calendar year meaning the last half of last year plus this year, is that they've increased the team speed immeasurably with Granato and Sandstrom and now Donnelly and Jones and Ellick. And now they can play a game at high tempo. In other years, once the tempo got up, half the team couldn't handle it.
Well, their skating speed has improved. They also move the puck a lot quicker.
Well, that little puck, can move faster than anybody, and Don, it never gets tired.
Gordie Howe once said, I've never seen anybody outrace that puck yet. Back to the line. Duchesne flips it to the goal. Brad Jones was trying to pick it out of the air. He was tied up behind the net by Smythe, and he loses his helmet in the process. McIntyre digging hard in the corner with McTavish. He's really working to get it loose. He does to Donnelly, a centering attempt. There was nobody there, and it's steered out to the neutral zone. Picked up now by Smythe. Rink-wide pass. It goes off the boards as Anderson had fallen down and couldn't pick it up. .5:30 remaining in the third period. Long shot from the point by Benning goes wide. Blake at the other point keeps it in. Gretzky is tied up behind the net by Kevin Lowe. Lowe didn't really hit him. He just made sure that Gretzky couldn't get to that puck. Mark Lamb shoots it in. Klima behind the goal is tied up by Blake. Pass to Gretzky. Gretzky goes rink wide with it. It was broken up at the line. Kevin Lowe dumps it to the Los Angeles line. Picked off there by Granato. Granato upended by Craig Muni. Puck comes loose to Kudelski. Kudelski couldn't get a shot away. Muni whips it around the boards. Kept in by Blake. Blake moving in. Fakes the shot. Two Oilers are down as they came sliding out. To Gretzky. To Kudelski. His shot goes off a sprawling Kevin Lowe. Back to the line to Benning. To Gretzky. Gretzky trying to get set, trying to keep it in. It's knocked off his stick by Peter Klima out to center ice. Tremendous pressure by the Los Angeles Kings. A whistle on the play as some pushing and shoving develops involving Mark Lamb and Tony Granato. But you see the commitment of the Edmonton Oilers as they went sprawling to block shots in their own zone. Now we have Kudelski. He's involved with Kevin Lowe, I believe.
Well, the Oilers going down the block shot, it's a noble idea, Don, but when you have 2 and 3 guys on the same scramble going down, you're very fortunate if they can get up and get back into position.
Out into the center ice area. Robinson will bring it back. Alex going for the net. Robinson with the shot up high. It's loose at the side of the net. Alex couldn't get a stick on it. Kyber tracks it down in the corner, plays it ahead to Messier. He's checked by Robinson. Alex gets it loose to Taylor. Taylor's shot up high off the glass. Anderson from the corner flips it down the ice. Marty McSorley stops it at his own blue line, gives it over to Robinson. Robinson, rink-wide pass to Gretzky. Gretzky dishes it off. There's the shot by Robitaille. That's high. Back comes Tikkanen for Edmonton with Simpson. Sliding it through for Anderson. Siminoff, he throws it out front. Off the board. Boom keeps it in. His long shot is deflected up into the crowd, out of play.
Well, the LA Kings had all kinds of opportunities in the last 3 minutes, and the Oilers got a pretty good one on that play. Both goalies have been fairly sharp tonight. If you're worried about those shots, Don, LA must have been listening to you, because now they are out shooting the Edmonton Oilers 30-27. Kelly Hrudey has made 24 stops tonight and a half a dozen superb ones.
He has played extremely well over the last part of the season for the Los Angeles Kings. He's played well all year, but his record during the final weeks of the season was most impressive. It included 3 shutouts. Back-to-back shutouts against Quebec and Philadelphia. And then late in the year, a 2-0 shutout of the Edmonton Oilers. McIntyre fallen on top of the puck. Tikkanen races after it. He chops it to Klima. Klima's quick shot. And Rudy got a piece of that one. Tavish had been knocked down, was late coming out of the zone. Now it's picked up by Duchesne. And Duchesne got it too far in front of him. Poked away by Bukaboom. Back come the Kings. Fired in and then dumped back down the ice. Duchesne chases after it. Klima's watching him. He throws it along the boards for Brad Jones. Great wide pass for Donnelly that was almost intercepted by Adam Graves.
One of those backhand specials. They keep the coaches up at night after the game is over.
Here's Gretzky working against Lowe. Tried to throw it up in front. Picked off by the Oilers, and Tikkanen starts back. Tikkanen, long shot. That goes off a stick and up into the crowd. Tikkanen has spun around. He lost his helmet. Now Adam Graves comes in to get involved.
Well, there's no question about the fact that the LA Kings are trying to get Tikkanen out of there. Many times after the whistle, they race after number 10 and see if they can draw him into a retaliatory penalty that he's been known to take the odd time. And one of the guys that's been leading that brigade on behalf of the Kings has been Marty McSorley. This is the kind of game that, you just about say, Wayne Gretzky hasn't really done a lot tonight, and then bang, he'll get the assist. He assisted on the tire and the winner in Game 1, and I didn't think that was a vintage Gretzky performance as far as domination's concerned. And that's the same thought going through my head tonight, and I'm sure the Oilers are thinking it too, because one play by him can end this thing.
Much the same situation existed during the Vancouver series. Through the first 3 games, people were asking, is there something wrong with Gretzky? And then he took control. .2:10 is the time remaining in the third period. McSorley has control for Los Angeles. He slides it in. Todd Alec works to the corner. Centering attempt. Blocked there by Semenov. Loose in the Edmonton zone, and it's skated out by Adam Graves. Graves is checked by McSorley. Puck goes to the boards. Robitaille gets it out of the zone. Semenov wheels and fires it right back in. Graves from a sharp angle took a shot blocked by McSorley. And now here they come. 3-on-1. McSorley with the shot, fired wide. From the point, Benning with a shot. That went wide of the net. Smythe tied up by Gretzky. Gretzky falls down. Puck dug out. Head out front to Granato, and it was blocked by Bukaboom. Fired down the ice. Gretzky gets it. Tried to flip it across ice. It was blocked. He gets it again. Dodges a check from Tikkanen. Tikkanen took a real run at Gretzky that time. We're into the final minute of the period.
Tikkanen was upset that he was tripped by Granato in the neutral zone when he thought he was getting a bit of a break. The ice gets tough here, as I've mentioned before. The puck rolls, and you can't count on a nice, smooth pass getting to your stick without being up in the air. And Gretzky, he felt Tikkanen go by, and sometimes a near hit solves some problems. And here Smythe gets trapped for the 3-on-1 against, and Marty McSorley decides to shoot the puck. He got a lot on it, but he missed it. Both teams' defensemen haven't hesitated a bit to get involved in a rush, and there's the play that made Tikkanen mad, and here's what he does. He says, I know you didn't do this to me, Wayne, but you're the nearest guy in the wrong shirt. And he's going into Carl's Jr.'s for a hamburger.
49 seconds remaining in the third. Will we have our second straight overtime game? Long shot fired wide by Kudelski. Messier stripped to the puck, comes loose to Gretzky. Fans reacting, thinking there should have been a penalty call there as Granato was knocked down. The fans really reacting at the non-call by Denny Morel. Here comes Messier. He's checked by John Tonelli. 17 seconds remaining to Kudelski. In across the line. Kudelski's shot is blocked. 11 seconds remaining.
Well, the Oilers dodged the bullet a play a little similar to the pass that Messier made into the middle of the rink that Theron Fleury picked off in round 1. This time a much shorter pass, and Messier had a chance to recover. But you can't throw that puck or even think of tossing it in the middle of the rink when you're standing still unless you're sure your guy can get it. And Mark Messier got away with a hook there that probably he deserved a penalty on, and the fans here agree on that one. But at this time, and for quite a while in the third period, referee Morel has decided not to call anything. And both coaches, even though they'll complain when something like that happens, would much rather have it that way, Don, than guys picking penalties off the apple tree and throwing them around without any care at all.
We're 11 seconds away from a second straight overtime game in this Smythe Division Final, and the outcome will be the same, 4-3, if they do go to OT. But will it be Edmonton or Los Angeles emerging as the victor this time? Luc Robitaille made it a 4-3 Los Angeles victory in Game 1. Craig McTavish is out there for this face-off in the Edmonton zone. You know, many times Craig McTavish does not get the recognition he truly deserves for being one of the top defensive forwards in the entire league.
Well, he's got a defensive responsibility now. Win the draw, and if you do or don't, make sure that the other center, in this case Todd Ellick, can't go anywhere without you.
Ellick gets it back to Robinson. There's the shot, just wide. Puck bounces in front of the net. Robitaille took a swipe at it. Here's another shot. It's blocked. They get it again. There's the shot, but the whistle had gone. Edmonton Oilers have played 22 overtime games in postseason activity. They have a 13-9 record. Kevin Lowe, who got his first goal at the playoffs, dumps it in. Simpson along the boards, a backhand shot that is blocked. It's dumped out to center ice, picked up there by Taylor. Taylor working along the boards, trying to get away from Lowe. Stolen back of the net by Alec. Throws it out front, and Robitaille was knocked down as he took a swipe at it. Ellie Rudy came out of his net to play it around in his own zone to Larry Robinson. Simpson has his pass intercepted by Taylor for Alec. Alec getting set. Alec moving into the slot area. Couldn't get a shot away. Alec will try it again for Gretzky. Gretzky going in off the side of the net.
Gretzky came off the bench in one of those changes you talked about, Don, and got in alone and got his chance, but didn't quite get it inside the post. He was being harassed from a Oiler player who came across the middle, but it's tough enough to look after players at any time, but when they come off the bench defensively, you look around and you wonder, gee, they must have an extra guy out there. And Gretzky, who's never known for his speed until he gets into one of these situations. You're going to see it right over here. Gretzky off the bench, and a nice sprawling dive by the Oiler. Mark Lamb, I think it was, put a little heat on Gretzky. Definitely wouldn't allow him to cut across to his left in front of Grant Fuhr. And I think Wayne's a little upset with himself that didn't end this game.
In the minute and 4 seconds we've played in overtime, the Los Angeles Kings have had a couple of great scoring opportunities. They certainly want to go to Edmonton, leading this series 2-0. They have never, remember, advanced beyond the second round of the playoffs.
Well, if momentum means anything, Don, they've had it for longer than the Oilers have. Before they tied it and after they tied it, they just haven't been able to get it right.
Long flip in that took a strange bounce in front of Grant Fuhr. Mark Lamb knocked it away from Blake and fired it into the Los Angeles zone. Renato took a hit along the boards, got it ahead to Kudelski. He was trying to go rink wide. Kudelski is upset and he's hurt.
The Terminator, Muni, same kind of a play as Sandstrom. He didn't get much of Kudelski, but he got just a bit of him. And Muni, this is the second guy that he's put down for a while, and a very similar play. He had the guy in his bomb sights, and at the last second he lost him, but the Kudelski couldn't get all the way out of the way.
Eskimos are probably watching.
I coached Westdale High School juniors. We lost in the finals one year, as I recall, when I taught school in Hamilton.
Blake goes back after it. Throws it up along the boards for Benning. Dropped out to center ice. Antonelli knocked down as the puck goes to the corner for Kevin Lowe. He plays it around to the other side. Gretzky tried to get it back to the point to Blake. Blake took a shot that was knocked down. Comes to the line. Blake can't keep it in. Played to an open wing, picked up by Tikkanen. Tikkanen threw it along the boards, and he was sent flying by Benning. Tikkanen looking for Messier at the blue line. He couldn't control the pass. Played ahead to Tonelli. He has Granato with him. Granato's shot goes wide. Tikkanen picks it up in his own zone. He has Messier going down one wing. He decides to drop it back to Craig Muni. He fires it into the zone. Muni lost his helmet. Duchesne gets it ahead to Donnelly. A long shot wide of the net. Brad Jones takes a hit along the boards and puck behind the net. Donnelly tied up there. McIntyre takes a hit. Donnelly gets it a wrap around the tip. Puck loose at the side of the net. And Brad Jones unable to get a stick on it.
Well, if any line for LA is going to get a garbage-type goal on a rebound or a shot that bounces off the end of the rink or is kicked around the crease, it'll be this line of McIntyre, Jones, and Donnelly. And they nearly ended it here. Donnelly tries the wraparound. Now watch the Oiler defenseman sits right on the puck. Not on purpose, but by accident, and that was the end of the play. Jones, who did not play in Game 1, has been a force for the LA Kings tonight. He's got great speed, not great hands, but has created some chances with that speed and turnovers with his forecheck.
Another University of Michigan product, initially drafted by the Winnipeg Jets in the 7th round in 1984. He was traded to Los Angeles for Phil Sykes. 17:06 remaining in the first overtime period. Shane fires it into the corner. Dave Taylor. Back of the net for Alec. Looking for Robitaille. Robitaille was tied up by Bukaboom. Couldn't get a shot away. Alec gets it, a backhand shot. Fuhr makes the save. Messier brings it down the ice, and Anderson was offside.
Well, the LA Kings have played ever since the injury to Sandstrom in the first period, and early in the first period, with 9 forwards for almost all intents and purposes. Kudelski's down now. Miller hasn't played much after his 4-minute penalty and both penalties needless. And it's been lots of ice time for the LA forwards. And here's a guy who's ended Game 1, number 20, Robitaille. Got a backhand chance right here and nearly ended this one. It's coming up, folks. But he's tied up very nicely on the play by Jeff Bukaboom. He's one of those guys that you have to tie a stick up as well as him up or he'll snap one off on you.
Kyver shoots it in. With the injuries tonight to Kudelski and Sandstrom, Casper out of the lineup. Jim Thompson, who talked with Ron McLean between third period and overtime, may very well be in the lineup on Monday night up at Northlands Coliseum. He'd like that. He's an Edmonton product.
I think he'd like this kind of a game, too, with lots of hitting. He's a feisty fellow.
Fired wide by Semenoff. Huddy keeps it in the corner for Graves. Graves across to McIver. He lets the shot go. Steered to the corner by Rudy. Jelena trying to move out front. Semenoff took a poke at it. It went wide. Graves has a centering attempt, bounces off a skate. Out to center ice as the Oilers try and shoot it back in. They put it over the glass, out of play. The combination of those two that kept them out of the 7th game against Calgary and Game 1 of this series.
Well, injuries are always a big contributor to wins and losses in the playoffs, and it looks like this series is no different than any other.
Steve Duchesne chased back of his own net by Klima. Now he wheels it out on the right side to Granato. Granato cutting into the slot. Takes a shot and deflects back of the goal. Duchesne gets it to Gretzky. Gretzky centering attempt. Nelly was in front of the net. He was knocked down. Gretzky gets it again. Gretzky. It's it over to Blake. Blake shot. Muir got a piece of that one. It ricochets around the boards. Back of the net, Tonelli has it. Tonelli looking for Gretzky. He's tied up. And Tikkanen was there to make sure the puck didn't get to Gretzky. Picked off by the Kings. Here's a shot. Rebound. Not just wide by Gretzky. Blake races into the corner. He and Tikkanen collided and went down. Comes out to center ice. Fired back in, and this is an offside call as Gretzky was deep inside the Edmonton zone. But tremendous pressure here by the Los Angeles Kings, and they came close a couple of times to ending it.
Well, they've been the superior team in the third period and the first 5 minutes of the overtime, with all the chances of being at the Oiler end. And Gretzky gets a great chance to finish it. A giveaway right there by Tikkanen as Granato picked it off. And here's the chance Gretzky gets on a rebound after Fuhr made the save on Tony Granato. The Oilers have got to get their act together. They're back on their heels, and they're not creating any chances, and they're giving them up. And they're not going to get out of here with a win if they don't get rolling here.
Well, we've had Sandstrom go out of the game tonight, Kadelsky out. Some of the stars of National Hockey League play have had serious playoff injuries. Gordie Howe, Richard, Vaughn, and Beliveau.
Well, let's hope those two Kings aren't as badly hurt as it looked like they are. But when they rory off to the hospital with a knee injury, there's usually lots of evidence that it's serious. But these guys, all key players. Remember Bob Bond? He played the rest of the game after he broke his leg, scored the overtime goal to make the series 3-3. Then in Game 7, played with the broken leg, and after the game, had the x-rays, the cast, and everything, but he had the Stanley Cup in his pocket by then.
The Gordie Howe injury was perhaps the most serious. For a time, they didn't think he was going to survive that skull fracture back in 1950.
Who was the player, do you recall, that he was involved with?
No, I don't.
I had it in my scrapbook when I was a kid, because I was a great Detroit Red Wing and Gordie Howe fan. And I may think of it before this overtime ends.
Larry Robinson back of his own net.
Peter Kennedy.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Here comes Robitaille. Robitaille tried to slide it over to Alec. It deflected. Went in front of the net, was taken to safety by the Oilers. Messier, and across the line to Anderson, a backhand shot and a glove save by Kelly Rudy.
You rarely see that, Don. A goalie catch a backhand that was taken as close to that as Anderson's was. The Oilers, including this much of the overtime, 18-11. That's probably why they tied the game up and looked like they could win it.
From the face-off, a shot very quickly by Martin Delana, and Rudy had the sprawl to knock that one away. McIntyre pokes it in. Charlie Huddy got there first. Semenoff flips it out. Blake fires it back in. Donnelly loses it. It's dumped down the ice. A race for the puck. Delana couldn't get there. He was tied up. It comes out front. A shot. What a save by Rudy from point-blank range off Charlie Huddy.
Semenoff tossed the puck out in front, and the LA Kings had all flocked back close to the net. And Charlie Huddy had the best chance of the overtime, and the only chance that the Oilers have really had other than that backhand by Anderson. But Charlie Huddy had time to tee this up, think about how high he was going to jump, where he was going to put it, and had a little bit of help with Jones screening him. But Rudy saw it and made the save.
We talked about Rogie Vachon, the general manager of the Kings. His sweater has been retired by the Los Angeles organization. If Rudy continues to play as he has this year for Los Angeles, his sweater may receive similar treatment.
The Oilers want Rudy to retire his sweater now. And there is the retired jersey number of Rogie Vachon, who's currently the general manager of the LA Kings, and he just signed a nice new fat contract in the not-too-distant past.
Only two sweaters in this Los Angeles organization have been retired, Vachon and Dion, Marcel Dion. Larry Robinson goes goes back of the net. You don't see as many end-to-end rushes by Larry Robinson as he once did, but he still has it. A long shot goes wide. Centering attempt. Tonelli couldn't get a stick on it. Tikkanen circles to get away from Gretzky. Tikkanen ahead to Klima. Klima takes the shot, save, and the loose puck picked up by Robinson. Up along the boards to Gretzky. He went cross ice with it. Nobody in position, but now Ellick. Ellick for the Kings. Takes a shot. Pure makes the save, and with Tonelli driving for the net, he wisely covers up. And now Tonelli is involved in a skirmish.
Well, it's never a bad play to shoot it, especially in overtime. We saw two good examples there. Klima took a bad angle shot at Rudy. There was a rebound. The Oilers didn't get it. And in this case, Ellick took a bad angle shot at Grant Fuhr. And you can see Grant Fuhr lost it for a second. And had Tonelli got there an instant sooner, this game might be over.
Bill Ranford was the goaltender in that 4-3 overtime loss in Game 1. Kelly Rudy played all 6 against Vancouver, and he has been the goaltender in both games against Edmonton. Pass on the right side for Granato. His shot just goes wide. Muni for Simpson. Out into the center ice area. Messier racing after it. His shot misses the far side. Simpson trying to keep it in the zone. He's checked by Tonelli. Here comes Duchesne with Gretzky. Gretzky getting set. Looked across for Duchesne. It deflected off a stick. Picked up by the Oilers. Craig Muni starts back. After those two hits on Sandstrom and Kudelski, I would think that every time he's on the ice, the Kings would be aware of his presence. An icing call against Edmonton.
Well, Larry Robinson's played aggressively. As we know, he got thrown out of last night. He just stapled Simpson against the boards earlier on that shift. And Wayne Gretzky on that rush. It was a 3-against-3 rush. The Oiler defensive threesome played it very smartly, but Gretzky changed his mind in the middle of a shot and passed it. And no player that I've ever seen has been able to do that as often or as well as Gretzky. And that's one of the reasons why he's so unpredictable. The minute you think you know what he's doing, he changes his mind and you become all confused and fouled up.
That's why he has 57 National Hockey League records, 15 of them in the playoffs. McTavish cuts in front of his own net. Oh, he takes a hit in the center ice area from Robitaille. Back comes Taylor. Taylor's shot is initially blocked. He got it again. Fuhr had to make the save. Alec trying to throw it out front. It comes to the line. Blake lets it go. Deflects to the corner off a stick. Taylor picks it up. Taylor working against McTavish. Robitaille involved back of the net. Throws it back to the line to Blake. Blake gets it across to Benning. His shot is blocked. It bounces to Charlie Huddy, who starts away. Ahead to Semenov. He's checked. Puck picked up by Huddy. There's his shot. And Rudy with another glove save. Grant Fuhr, in that skirmish around the Edmonton net, lost his mask, but fortunately for Fuhr, that play in the Los Angeles zone saw the puck deflected up into the crowd, and he has time to retrieve it.
Well, Grant doesn't have a chin strap to hold that helmet-mask combination onto his head, and you can see he wasn't hit that hard, and it came off. He takes a look behind to make sure his head's not in it. He's had a tough night with that mask. McSorley tested it, and that's the second time after that he's had to recover it.
He took a pretty good shot from McSorley in the race for the net.
You have to wonder, Don, that maybe now in a long, tough game on slow ice, so soon after that great 7-game series, that the Oilers' fatigue is starting to become a bigger factor on their side than it is on the Kings' side.
Smythe tried to get it across to Charlie Huddy. It deflected off his stick and up into the crowd. Charlie Huddy is the only Edmonton defenseman who has scored in the playoffs, while the Kings have got production from a couple of their people. Steve Duchesne, for example, has 3 goals.
Well, the Oiler defensemen, including Charlie Huddy, have not jumped up into the rush as often as they did against Calgary or as often as they did all year. And you have to wonder whether they also, that's a long haul when you jump into the rush and you lose the puck. it's an uphill struggle coming back the other way to your own zone.
Huddy was the only one to score coming into tonight's game until Kevin Lowe got that first period goal. Donnelly moves it ahead to Brad Jones. He's checked. Simpson circling, trying to get away. Throws it rink wide, knocked down by Donnelly. Jones throws it out front. McIntyre couldn't get a shot. Moved up to the line to Messier. He and Anderson cross. Anderson gets the puck. Nice move, drives it in, fires it wide. Beautiful move by Glenn Anderson. He couldn't finish it. Grant Fuhr will hold it with Gretzky racing in.
More fatigue. The good plays seem to disappear, and it gets to be a shoot-in, shoot-out game, hoping a bounce goes your way.
Benning back at his own net to McSorley. 9:09 remaining in overtime. Long shot by McSorley, glove by Grant Fuhr. Charlie Huddy gets away from a check. Gretzky along the boards, tied up by Mark Messier. Charlie Huddy has lost his stick. Situation similar to last night where Steve Smythe lost his stick. Mark Lamb gave him his, and while they were a man short, Luc Robitaille was able to score the winning goal in Game 1 of the series.
Well, we've got one record set done tonight. This is the longest overtime of the 91 playoffs, and we have an update here from the medical room in the Great Western Forum. Padelski sprained medial collateral ligament, and he's on his way to the hospital.
Well, that's bad news for the Los Angeles Kings, too.
Look at these two drivers here. I'm going to get them to do my windows at home. Every time there's a stoppage and they play this song, those two yo-yos get up and start dancing.
That's your kind of music, isn't it?
It was.
Face off to the left of Kelly Rudy. This now is the longest overtime game of the 1991 Stanley Cup chase.
I think we're going 3 or 4 periods tonight, Don, so buckle up.
Right up in the corner. It goes around to the other side. Todd Ellick looking to get it out. He flips it high. Norm McIver knocks it down at his own blue line against Dave Taylor. Off the boards for Graves, but Larry Robinson will get there first. Now Robinson starts back. Long lead pass for Alec. Alec tees it up. Fuhr got a piece of it, and the rebound just bounced away from Dave Taylor. He took a swipe at it, and it bounced over his stick. Robitaille on the left side for Alec. Greg Muni gets there first. Dumped out of the zone with 7:50 remaining in overtime.
Well, that was a great chance, and as I say, the puck bounces on this lousy ice, and Fuhr made the stop on Ellick. The puck bounced off his pad up in the air, and a short hop over Dave Taylor's stick was pouring to the net uncovered.
Charlie Huddy just avoided a check there from McIntyre in the center ice area as he fired it in. Stolen by Anderson to Messier. Messier flips it back to the net. Peter Klima throws it out front. Nobody in position. At the line, McIver manages to keep it in. Anderson tied up back of the net. He gets a skate on it, so does Benning, and they hold it long enough for a whistle.
Well, Larry Robinson started to rush, and he's taken a couple of rushes tonight that remind you of his great years in Montreal, and made the pass to Todd Ellick coming down the wing. And Ellick took the shot. Here's the Robinson I'm talking about. Nice long pass, and you can see here Ellick's got a little bit of an angle. He shoots it hard, and there's Taylor going right between everybody, and just as he's going to throw it in the open net, the puck bounced over his stick. Now the puck's rolling here, so those kind of knuckleballs are hard to handle. There's the bounce the Oilers liked, and it wasn't a big one, but it was one that may have made the difference. 7:10 to go, 3-3 in the 4th period here at the Great Western Forum.
In Game 1, Luc Robitaille was the overtime hero. Who will emerge as the star of this game? 7:10 the time remaining. The Kings have outshot the Oilers 10-6 in this overtime session. McIntyre and McTavish are being waved out of the circle. Tikkanen will face off against Tonelli. Tie each other up. The puck goes to the corner. Flipped up to Gretzky. Kelly going for the net. Gretzky is checked. McTavish brings it out of the zone. McTavish has Klima with him. He tried to slide it across to Tikkanen. Missed him with the pass. Tonelli, rink wide. Racing after it is Granato. Granato was forced to put on the brakes as Craig Muni laid it around the boards for McTavish. McTavish gets it over to Tikkanen. Tikkanen, backhand shot wide of the net. McTavish in the corner. Spun around by Gretzky. The puck comes loose. Granato starts away. Granato stopped as he tried to move in against Kevin Lowe. Messier was looking to hit Klima up at the blue line with a long lead pass, and he misfired.
Klima was there, and Messier just missed on the attempted pass. He didn't have much time because he was trying to get to the red line to keep it onside.
Here's Alec again. Shot right on, and Fuhr covers up this time. No rebound as Robitaille was driving for the net.
Todd Alec must have about a half a dozen or more shots on goal. A lot of them from well out and not on the right angle. But he's getting it on the net and making the goalie stop it. And that's one way to increase the chance of getting the one that would set this place on fire. Here's the shot again from outside the circle, about at the hash mark. And Grant Fuhr handles it without any trouble.
6:04 remaining in this first overtime session. Todd Alec has only scored one goal, but Tom Webster is very happy with his play in postseason action. Messier fires it in. Anderson was racing after it. Rudy lays it up along the glass. Taylor gets it over to Alec. Alec works in across the line, has to circle back. Flips it to the line, broken up there by Charlie Huddy, fired down the ice. 5:35 remaining in this first overtime period. Here's Messier getting set. Messier having problems there with Todd Alec. Kicks the puck along the boards. Continues to battle for it. It comes loose. Dave Taylor starts away. Taylor's long shot right on, and Grant Fuhr holds that for a face-off.
Well, Mark Messier had the puck 10 feet inside the LA blue line and nearly lost it for a 3-on-2 against, but managed to kick it and keep it deep. The three phrases of instructions you hear coming from both benches in this kind of a game are get it deep as they go up past your bench towards the other end, because you don't want a turnover in the neutral zone. Then when you're in your end, the coaches are yelling, dump it out, get it out, because they don't want a turnover. And the other one is hold them up, meaning after they've shot it in, if you're near a guy, get your stick on him so he can't get in and forecheck.
Face off to the left of Grant Fuhr. 5:16 remaining in this first overtime period. 3-3 the score. Marty McSorley back at the line. Takes a shot. It was blocked before it got to the net. Semenoff starts away. Semenoff has it knocked off his stick. McIver following up on the play. Takes it back to the net. Now it's played up around the boards. McIntyre gets it over to Jay Miller. And it's offside. And I think this is the first shift for Jay Miller since he took that double minor. Looked up on the right side. Semenoff tied up by Robinson. Tried to throw it out front. Gretzky got back in the defensive role to help out. Now it's Graves in the corner. For Tikkanen, he can't go anywhere with it. Graves gets it again, a shot right on. Semenoff was looking for the rebound, but it bounced away from him. Fired in by Kevin Lowe. Robinson uses the net to get away from Seminoff. Moves it ahead to Tonelli. Renato was driving in. Tonelli missed him with the pass, and Messier has control for Edmonton. He gets away from Ellick. Away from Robitaille. Throws it out front. Intercepted by Duchesne. Duchesne tried to clear it. It bounced off his stick. Messier gets it again. Looking back to the point. Smythe with a shot. It hit a stick, didn't get to the net. Smythe gets it again. He goes cross ice. Here's a blast by Charlie Huddy. That deflects off the stick to the corner. Simpson trying to throw it out front. It comes back to the line. Huddy back to the net for Messier. Messier goes to the point to Smythe. Here's a shot. It was blocked before it got to the net. Messier along the boards. Pressure being applied here by the Oilers. Charlie Huddy keeps it in the zone. Simpson in the corner with Duchesne. Anderson gets it back to the point. It bounces away from Smythe. He has to throw it into the corner. Messier and McSorley battle in the corner. Anderson tried to throw it out, and finally it's banked off the boards and down the ice by Dave Taylor. This will be an icing call against Los Angeles, but with 2:47 remaining, the Edmonton Oilers had tremendous pressure, and now Marty McSorley and Mark Messier have another exchange of words. That happened earlier in this hockey game, and they were throwing cross-checks at each other in Game 1.
I can guarantee you this, there were 10 exhausted skaters at the end of that long siege that the LA Kings were under, thanks to some good forechecking and puck control by the Edmonton Oilers. And I'm sure Messier and McSorley didn't have enough energy to really get involved. And so instead of physically exchanging their feelings, they did it verbally. Here's been the most dangerous LA King forward in the latter half of tonight's game, and especially here in the overtime. Todd Ellick, number 6, who's getting all kinds of ice time tonight. With Sandstrom gone in the first period, his line has played a lot of hockey with Dave Taylor, also who's had some great chances tonight, and of course Luc Robitaille, who scored.
I can't think of another University of Regina graduate who is playing in the National Hockey League.
Well, Todd's another guy that added some speed to this LA team that had to be the slowest team in the league when Gretzky first arrived.
McTavish against McIntyre. McTavish tried to get it back to Tikkanen. It comes back to Kevin Lowe. Lowe shot wide of the net. Tikkanen being checked by Gretzky, looking to get it back to the point. Gretzky checked Tikkanen, but couldn't get away from him. Rudy around the boards for Tonelli. He can't get out. Aggressive forechecking by the Oilers. McTavish back of the net. Couldn't control it, and it's banked off the boards and down the ice with 2:18 remaining in overtime. Here comes McTavish. Drops it off for Tikkanen. There's his shot. Saved by Kelly Rudy. Klima spins around and fires it wide. Tikkanen flips it behind the goal. Klima very quickly on Benning. McTavish fell and went sliding into Kelly Rudy. Here comes Granato. Granato for Tonelli. Tonelli for Granato, and he couldn't get a stick on it. 1:43 remaining in overtime. Duchesne spun around and took a shot. It was blocked by Graves. He moves it ahead to Seminoff. Back to Graves. Graves takes the shot right on, and the puck is cleared to the boards by Robinson, but not out. Tikkanen and Gretzky battle along the boards. Robinson gets involved. Gretzky has given a little back to Tikkanen in this overtime period. He's bumped him a couple of times when Tikkanen has been controlling the puck.
Well, this is getting to be a long affair for these boys now with 1:21 to go in the first overtime period. Anytime the shift goes beyond 30 seconds, you've got tired players, and tired players make mental mistakes. And there goes Donnelly to the dressing room. He looks like he's probably been cut. Certainly it doesn't appear to be too serious, but it's another forward, and a fast one, and one who's been pretty good tonight, who won't be available for the last minute, 21 seconds of this OT. But I was saying, once the shifts get by 30 seconds, boy, guys are tired. Here's a great stop by Rudy. A long shot, but it was labeled. And here we come the other way. And there's another example where you throw it in front, and Tony Granato nearly got a stick on it as he went to the net without the puck.
Robinson almost lost it as he cut in front of his own net. 1:13 remaining in this first overtime period. Here comes Jelena. He throws it around the boards. Alec ties up his man. Robitaille trying to get it out.
1 minute.
And finally does as we move into the final minute of the period. Shot right on by Taylor, a weak shot, and Fuhrer had no real problems handling that, but he had to cover it up with Alec driving for the net.
Well, most of the chances in the last half of the overtime have been long shots. There's Robinson going back with a smile on his face saying, just wanted to see if you were still awake, Kelly, when I waltzed through the crease with it. But watch this. You have to be going to the Hall of Fame to try that trick. And we know Robinson is the very day he's eligible.
He doesn't know what it's like not to be involved in postseason activity. There are players in the National Hockey League who have never had the experience of playoff action. 19 consecutive seasons, matching his sweater number. If he plays next year and the Kings make the playoffs, he could equal Gordie Howe's record of 20 playoff seasons.
Well, it takes a special kind to be able to play that long. Never mind that well.
Alec is out there with Jones and McIntyre as Donnelly went off to the dressing room, and we have another face-off with 47 seconds left in this first overtime period.
Well, the LA Kings have been doing a pretty good job, at least in the Oilers zone, at winning the draws. And that often is the key move that leads to a good chance that might lead to the end of a game here, is the face-off. And Muckler's taking no chances. He's got Messier, McTavish, and we know Tikkanen can win draws too all at the same time.
Muni flips it around to the other side to Messier. Here he comes with McTavish and Tikkanen. He decides to shoot it in. McSorley goes back after it. McSorley flips it ahead to Alec. He leaves it at the line for Robitaille. 30 seconds left in the overtime. Brad Jones in across the line to McSorley. His shot. That was labeled for the corner, but Fuhrer got a piece of it. Robitaille manages to keep it in the zone. Lowe flips it around the boards for Anderson. It comes to the line. Robinson keeps it in. His shot deflects to the corner. And it looks as though we could be going for another overtime period.
Kevin Lowe is hurt. He can hardly stand up, and he's going to make it till the end of overtime. And he's really upset with, I don't know which LA King. It might have been John Tonelli that gave him the wood. But he's looking for him now. But he was dazed for about 10 seconds there. Wouldn't come off because he was afraid to leave the zone while the puck was still in it. And none of these people have eaten, remember, since about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So they're all getting hungry, not only for the win.
Dave Taylor flips it around to Luc Robitaille. He's knocked down behind the net by McIver. Robitaille continues battling, gets the puck to Taylor. Taylor back to the goal, looking to throw it out front. He was checked by McIver. McSorley pinches in from the point. Robitaille having problems getting away from Huddy. Kiergaard takes him off the puck. It comes loose. Alex throws it out front. It bounced away from Taylor. This line has been the most dangerous in overtime play. Mark Messier got spun around. Now Alec picks it up. Moves it ahead to Robitaille. Robitaille tried to get it back to Alec. He thought he was going the other way. But Alec opted instead to try and sneak in along the boards. Quick change by the Edmonton Oilers as Simpson shoots it in. McSorley for Los Angeles, firing it down the ice. Kevin Lowe being chased as he goes back after it. It's played around the boards to center ice.
Well, I mentioned earlier that Todd Allec's been the most dangerous King. He's had 10 shots on goal in this game, which leads both teams in that department. 6 of them in the third period plus the first overtime.
Craig Muni around the boards to Peter Klima. He's checked. Granato couldn't go anywhere with it. Klima gets it back. Klima's shot goes off a stick wide of the net. McTavish races to the corner. McTavish checked there, trying to control that puck along the boards. It's poked loose. Gretzky gets it ahead to Granato. Over to Benning. Benning working against Huddy, tried to throw it out front. It goes behind the goal, and Tikkanen starts back. Gretzky was upset in the Edmonton zone. Tikkanen a long shot wide of the net. Dug out by Huddy. He threw it in front of the net, and Semenoff just failed to deflect it. Blake ahead to Brad Jones. Jones working in, trying to go around Smythe. Still has it. Now Jones knocked off the puck in the corner by Bukaboom. Brought out of the zone by Semenoff to Jelena. He flips it in. Jelena couldn't do anything with it. Semenoff in the corner, throws it back to the line. In front of the net for Jelena. He couldn't get a shot away. Puck loose. Semenoff bring it off the post. Shane whips it around the boards, and it's knocked down the ice. What a great opportunity for the Oilers as it went off the post. And the play is whistled down on the offside call.
Anatoly Semenoff had a glorious chance to end it as the Oilers put the heat on the Kings. This line of Jelena, Semenoff. Here's the shot by Muni, makes a great pass in there. McIntyre tackles that forward. Now here's where Semenoff's going to find the puck all alone and put it right up over the glove hand of Kelly Rudy, but off the post. Here's another look at it here.
Jelena was attempting to deflect that shot by Craig Muni, and then Semenoff put it off the post. Larry Robinson's long shot is right on. Messier starts back. He's played 3 minutes of this second overtime period with Taylor driving for the net. Grant Fuhrer holds it for a faceoff.
Well, the goalies have been instructed to hold the puck if in doubt at all about who might get it, and you'll see more of that in this overtime than we saw in any of the periods before this. 23 goals by Taylor this year, 43 points, 148 minutes and penalties. This guy here is a tough player. He silently goes about being a real tough customer. His teammates will tell you that, and so will the guys that play against him. 2 goals in the first 7 playoff games, or I guess it's 8 now, even though this one's not quite over.
Larry Robinson winds up, checked by Messier, gets it again. This time the shot is blocked by McTavish. Robinson fires it into the corner. Alec left it there for Robitaille. It was flipped around the boards, and Messier moves it ahead to McTavish. Dodges one check, and Alec catches up with him. Messier picks up the loose puck for Anderson. This time he can't get around Duchesne. Made a nice move in the first overtime period against Marty McSorley to go in. Larry Robinson racing over to pick up that loose puck and play it ahead to Robitaille. Robitaille knocks it in across the line. Gretzky tried to center it. He couldn't. Flips it back to Granato, and Granato is upended. A check by Craig Muni. Boy, this line is really taking some punishment from one individual, Craig Muni. First he got Sandstrom, then Kudelski, and he sent Granato flying. 15:42 remaining in this second overtime period. Here comes Tonelli. Tonelli still hasn't scored a goal this year in postseason action. He continues working, driving for the net, trying to throw it out front. He's checked by Steve Smythe, and Craig McTavish picks up the loose puck. Lead pass for McTavish. Gets it back again. Throws it across to Tikkanen. There's his shot. They score! Deflected by Peter Klima, I believe. But the Edmonton Oilers win it 4-3 in this second overtime period.